Riley Tanaka. Batting seventh, the right fielder, 00, Kenzie Sawyer. Batting eighth and playing third base, number 2, Danny Bartoff. Batting ninth and playing second base, number 4, Caitlin DeLang. And in the circle today for Dixie State, number 8, Cambry Hazel. The head coach of Dixie State University is Randy Simpkins. He's assisted by Dean Winningham, Maggie Christensen, Doug Rogers, and Justin Buchanan. Our athletic trainer today is Ashley Woolham. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise, direct your attention to right center field. Remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Carl Brooks Field on the campus of Dixie State University for this Pac West contest between the visiting Notre Dame Namur and the Dixie State Trailblazers. Your umpires for today's game behind the plate, Jason Blumell. At first base, Ray Mavis. And at third base, Brady Sanderson. Leading out for the Argonauts, the right fielder, number 1, Abriana Arzaga. Designated player number 11, Megan Lawson.
All right. I mean, seriously, these are awesome. They made that 2x4, 2x4. They got Dixie skate all over the Trailblazers, and now the kids are all over it. Yeah.
The center fielder, Alessandra Gianavola.
All right. So we're connected, just the computer reset. It just wasn't working. Oh, so like it happened that first time.
There is a place where looking out means looking in, where an impression lasting only a few seconds will be imprinted on a life forever, where courage is forged and innocence rediscovered, where remembering is rewarding and forgetting unforgettable. There is a place where truth is felt and where seeing is believing. There is a place.
So when I graduate, I'm going to be graduating May 4th. Come on, Dean. Yeah, she said just put the acres down. So excited. Throw him out, right? Like somebody in there.
Left fielder number 22, Brenna King. Shortstop, Bailey Gaffin. At the plate, the catcher, Jess Gonzalez.
Did you hear about the pony with a sore throat? He was a little horse. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why couldn't the Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Where did cats go on vacation? New York.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul.
Welcome to Carl Brooks Field, where we are in the top of the second inning, where Dixie State has already taken a 2-0 lead off of a throwing error from Notre Dame Namur. Joined by myself, Guarantee James Guerin on the call. It is a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Couldn't have asked for better weather. I'm glad it's finally warmed up. It has been cold the last couple of weeks, and you know, I came out with a sweater today, and I might have to take it off because it is starting to warm up a little bit. Spring's right around the corner, and that's just the perfect time for softball season. We all like to joke around here that it gets rainy once softball season starts, but not the case today. So, underway here, top of the second inning, Trailblazers up 2-0. And that first pitch, Cambry Hazel, the starting pitcher for the Trailblazers, one pitch, one out. The Trailblazers come into this game with an astonishing 16-0 record. Perfect. And Notre Dame, Namur, on the opposite spectrum, starting off the season at 3-12. So a lot of fireworks to be expected from our own Trailblazers here tonight. We're also on CEC TDS Channel 22 for those of you that want to watch the game and are in the area but rather stay home. And that first pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. Up to the plate for Notre Dame is Tivoli Cisco. That second pitch in there for a ball. Hazel pitching lights out all season long. She has been a definite shock to me. She did have a no-hitter early on in the season in the Tucson tournament. to get her first career no-hitter. And when I was doing a recap of that game, I was like, wow, Cambry Hazel, just a freshman, and she's already making an impact in Dixie State Athletics. And that one's going to be chopped up to the middle towards Gavin, and it looks like that is in time by half a step. Two away, as the Argonauts over there in the dugout didn't like the call. They thought that they had the play beaten, but not the case. Two away here, 2-0 Trailblazers. And up to the plate for the Argonauts, Haley Stahl, the second baseman. And that one's foul tipped. 0-1 the count. Stahl hitting just 189 on the year so far. Started 12 out of 13 games with just 3 RBIs. Lined up in the pitch, and this one's going to be chopped into the backstop. Quickly in the hole, 0-2. There's a good-sized crowd tonight. I was pulling up, and I saw that there were some festivities going on outside of Carl Brooks Field, and I was like, this is exactly how softball should be every weekend. You know, they're the best team in sports, and that one's going to get chopped. A pop-up liner, and not a problem for Caitlin DeLang as she retires the side. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on base. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Radio Dixie 91.3 and CEC TV. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Carl Brooks Field. Bottom of the second inning we go. The Trailblazers on top 2-0. Guaranteed James Guerin on the call via Radio Dixie 91.3 as well as CEC TV for their first softball outing of the year. And I'm glad I could be a part of it. I started out with CEC and then slowly moved my way into the radio field, and now they want me back, so I'm back. I ain't going anywhere. On the mound for the Argonauts is right-handed pitcher Delaney Pamplin, just a freshman. And Riley Tedica, the leadoff batter for the bottom of the second inning. And coming into this game, Tedica is hitting .354 on the year with 1 home run along with 10 RBIs. So good start for her. And that one, ball 2. A lot of new faces, but somehow, some way, they still have managed to pull off a better start than they have in years past. And the pitch. And that one's going to be inside, ball 3. Pamplin 1-7 on the year with a 3.47 ERA, and that one is going to be a strike. 3-1 the count. Trailblazers, the number 4 team in the country, and Tedica gets walked as she takes her base for the first base runner here in the bottom of the second inning. And coming up to the plate now is right fielder Kenzie Sawyer.
Sawyer.
She's had a couple of walk-off hits of her own, including the last non-conference game of the season against Colorado Mines back in February 11th. Hit an RBI single up the middle to take a 10-9 victory. I was here on the call. And then she had one in Tucson as well. As Titica goes to second, and she is going to get there in time. No tag. And not a problem for her. For Titica, that is her 6th stolen base of the season. 6 for 6 so far. As Sawyer's looking at a 2-0 count. And the pitch, and this one's going to get blooped over to the first base side. It's going to stay in play, but no one there to make the catch. 2-1 the count. So after starting off the season and number 9 in the preseason Division II rankings, they have climbed up all the way to number 4, and Sawyer rips one. And this one is going to get caught, though, on the warning track. And the runner, Titica, thought it was going to be over, and she gets thrown out at second for the double play. And I don't blame her. That one looked like it had a chance, and she just mistimed it. And Coach Simpkins over at third base side telling her, like, you got to look at the ball. It wasn't 2 outs. But that one did look like it had a chance, and then it just dropped. So 2 away here. And Danny Bartoff getting her first crack at the bat today. And that one's going to foul off. 0-1 the count. We also do have baseball going on later today over at Bruce Hurst Field. So if you want to catch some of the action, they are going up against the number 1 team in Division II in Azusa Pacific, so it will be a tough outing for them. But still show some love for them, as I believe they play at 5 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. I'll get that for you right now. Oh, they're playing right now, actually. Excuse me. They're playing at noon. So that game is going on as we speak. And 1-2 the count after that one gets fouled off. And that one's going to miss the corner. 2-2 the count. Bartoff coming into this game hitting .273 with 9 RBIs. And the pitch. And this one's going to get hit into right field. Not a problem for Abriana Arzaga. And that is going to retire this side. And we had no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on base. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back here on Radio Dixie 91.3 and CEC TV.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this. I need a one dance. And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
Welcome back to Carl Brooks Field, where we're at the top of the 3rd inning, and Cambry Hazel on the mound for the Trailblazers, and not a surprise to see the outing she is doing so far today. Coming in to this game, listen to this. Cambry Hazel 7-0 on the year, posting a 1.22 ERA. Absolutely lights out, holding her opponents to just a 149 batting average against her. She has 40 strikeouts to go with 13 walks. And that first pitch outside, ball one. Elizabeth Santoyo, the batter for the Argonauts, the first baseman. And the pitch. And that one's going to be in there for strike one. 1-1 the count. Santoyo hitting .333 on the year. 6 out of the 11 games that she's played, she started as 2 RBIs. And here's the pitch. And that one's going to get swung on and tipped into the backstop. 1-2 the count. This is a doubleheader. And we will be here for both of those games on Radio Dixie 91.3 as well as CEC TV. Second game scheduled to be at 2 p.m. 30 minutes after the ending of game one, and that next pitch swung on and tipped into the backstop once again, staying alive in this at-bat. It's about 60 degrees outside right now, and I couldn't ask for better weather. This is great. And this one's going to get chopped over to the Dixie State dugout. And Hazel getting a lengthy at-bat here. I wouldn't be surprised to see her make her chase high for one of those stinky cheese balls. Wind up and the pitch. And there it is, right down the middle, however. A little bit of off speed on it, and she strikes Santoyo out. 1 away here. It's her third strikeout already here in 3 innings. No walks, just on 26 pitches.
At the plate, Taylor Haynes.
Taylor Haynes, the shortstop, getting her first at bat here as she looks at strike one. Coming into this game, Taylor Haynes hitting just 111 on the year with 2 RBIs. And that one, a high riser. Haynes looks at it, and that one's going to be too high for ball one. And we have a discussion between the umpires whether or not that hit off the bat or not. Didn't look like it could have tipped off the end of her bat or if it hit off of Jessica Gonzalez's glove, and neither of the umpires knew if it hit the bat or not, so it is going to be a ball. And the pitch. Showing bunt, but low for ball two. Trailblazers coming off of a sweep last weekend here against number 16 Concordia Irvine, winning 1-0 and 9-6. They do have a game tomorrow. This is alumni weekend, so before the game, some of the alumni did come onto the field and were honored, as that one's going to get chopped over to Bartoff at third in time for out number 2. So some of the alumni came onto the field, were recognized, including seniors from last year, and Josie Hartman and Brooklyn Beardshed, who were just phenomenal last year. And I said this in the first game of the season. It was just a little weird not seeing number 15 over at shortstop, but you know, like Peyton Manning said, not everything lasts forever. And they're able to I don't want to say fill the shoes of Josie Hartman, but they seem to be doing just fine without her, with Bailey Gaffin taking over, and she's been doing great so far this year. As so far she's hitting .326 on the year with 9 RBIs to go along with it. A little bit of more discussions going on between the umpires. And it looks like she may have foul tipped it. I think that's what's going on for the third strike. So there's just one away. Umpire talking to Coach Simpkins right now. Count from the blue is 2 balls and 2 strikes. And still don't know what the official ruling is. But Haynes still in there. And this one's going to get fouled into the backstop. She was way in front of that one. So 2 and 2, 1 away. Hazel getting the sign from Jago. And that one looked like it may have slipped out of her hand. She laughs at it a little bit as that one just rainbowed over Jessica Gonzalez. Full count here. And the 3-2 pitch. And foul tip once again. That was a good pitch right down the middle. Had some juice on it. And Haynes staying alive in this at bat. And the pitch. And another foul tip. And Haynes not wanting to go down easy and making Hazel work for it. As Hazel has the resume to possibly get Pac West Freshman of the Year, and deserving so after the numbers she's been posting all year long. And that one's going to be flown by past her. There is out number 2, and she gets her 4th strikeout of the game. That's going to bring out the third baseman, Lauren Zabat. And Zabat coming into this game hitting .097. Starting every game for the Argonauts this season. This has not been a friendly hitting season for her, as she looks at strike 1, which was right down the middle. Oh, and 1-2 away. We have a great crowd here. Bleachers just packed as she swings at strike number 2. Has the running start, much like Janessa Bassett did, until the new ruling where I think it was you can't have a foot outside of the box when you make contact with the bat. And that one's going to be high and outside for ball 1. So I was hearing Coach Simpkins talk about the things that, Janessa Bassett has been doing this year and how come she has more power, and he was saying, well, it's because she's not, running swing. I think that's the name of it. And Cambry Hazel gets the strikeout for her 5th strikeout of the game, retires a side 1, 2, 3. And to the bottom of the 3rd we go. No runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on base. To the bottom of the 3rd we go. We'll be right back here on Radio Dixie 91.3 and CEC TV.
There is a place where young and old make connections. Where kids feel like grown-ups. And grown-ups feel like kids. There is a place where beauty arises in contrast. Where wonder is universal. And laughter second nature. There is a place where friends find a future. Families find each other, and feelings find their home. There is a place.
And welcome back to Carl Brooks Field, where the Trailblazers have a 2-0 lead going into the bottom of the third inning. Guaranteed James Guerin on the call via Radio Dixie 91.3 and CEC TV. If you're in the area, come on down. Just do it. Support the undefeated Trailblazers, the number 4 team in the nation. You will not regret it. And Caitlin DeLang looks at strike one. DeLang hitting .226 on the year with 4 RBIs. And the pitch, and this one's going to be in the dirt. And that's going to be low for ball one. Be low for ball two. Wind picking up just a little bit, as maybe that is a sign that, you know, some of them will get outside of the park. Lang yet to hit a home run this season, as she tips that one. Still at a 1-2 count. And on deck is Janessa Bassett. She leads the team with 5 home runs. The windup and the delivery. And that one took a little bit off of it. So now we are at a full count. And the pitch. And that's going to be a strike 3. Swinging strike 3, and DeLang goes down. 1 away. And that is Pamplin's second strikeout.
The center fielder, number 1, Janessa Bassett.
And that is going to bring up Janessa Bassett. And she looks at ball one. Coming into this game, Janessa Bassett hitting .489 with 5 home runs and 19 RBIs, along with 3 triples. And has 12 stolen bases out of 12 attempts. And this one's going to get hit over to third, and she is going to be thrown out for out number 2. So 2 quick outs for Pamplin. And the Cheetah did walk in her first at bat. And that's going to bring up Brenna Hink, who is 1 for 1 so far. Did get a hit in her first at bat. And that one's going to be low for a ball. And Hink coming into this game, hitting .355 on the year with 2 home runs and 12 RBIs. Hink, one of those new faces, new starters for the Trailblazers that has worked out pretty nice for Coach Simpkins and his staff. Replacing one of the senior outfielders, Shelby Young, who graduated last year. And that one is going to be in there for a strike. 2-1 the count. And took a lot of it off of that one. And that curveball got Hink swinging. And evens the count at 2 apiece. Pamplin looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Wind up in the pitch. And this one's going to get hit up over to short, over to first, in time for out number 3. Side is retired. 1-2-3 inning for Pamplin and the Argonauts. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on base. To the top of the 4th inning we go. Dixie State 2, Argonauts 0. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Radio Dixie 91.3 and CEC TV.
Retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. And I appreciated it very much, the attention that was given. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you're from. Thank you for listening. If it's on the radio, on the TuneIn app, or on TV, on TDS Channel 22, guarantee James Guerin on the call, where Dixie State at a 2-0 advantage right now, going into the top of the 4th inning. And leading, or excuse me, coming into the game. Looks like it's going to be Taylor Gottfried coming in for, looks like it is Brenna Hank over in right field. Kenzie Sawyer moves over to left, and Cheetah's still at center. Arzaga, the leadoff hitter, the #1 batter, as she looks or swings at strike one. 0-1, 0 for 1 in her, or so far in this game. And coming into this game, hitting .235. And the pitch from Hazel. A lot of gas on that one. And the bat went around, and that is strike number 2. The windup in the pitch, and foul tip into the net, and not going 1, 2, 3 strikes. Here's the windup in the pitch, and strike 3 going down. And Cambry Hazel with her 6th strikeout in 3 1/3 innings. Is absolutely an on-fire start for her. Designated hitter Megan Lawson up to bat now, and she is 0 for 1 so far with a strikeout. As this one's going to get shot up to short to Gaffin. Not a problem for her in time for out number 2. 5 pitches, 2 outs. As Gaffin fielded that one nicely, and not a problem for her at all. As we look at the replay on CEC TV, routine ground ball, and that's going to bring up Alessandra Gianavola. That one's going to miss the corner for ball 1. And the windup in the pitch. And that one's in there for a strike. Loud pop as that one landed into Gonzalez's glove. One of the best sounds, I think, either in baseball or softball, is that pitch right down the middle, and it just lands right in the pocket of the catcher's glove. It just makes such a unique sound. You don't hear that anywhere else. And she showed bunt, but that one in the dirt, and 2-1 the count. And 2-1 pitch. That's going to go by her, and she swings and misses. Evens the count at 2 apiece. Hazel looking for her 7th strikeout of the game. Looks at that one, full count. Gianavola struck out in her first at bat. Hazel gets the sign, And the payoff pitch gets her swinging. Strike 3. Cambry Hazel once again gets her 7th strikeout of the game. 1-2-3 inning for her. No runs, no hits, and no errors, and none left on base. To the bottom of the 4th inning we go. Dixie State 2, Argonauts nothing. And we'll be right back here on Radio Dixie 91.3 and CEC TV.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to our set here of Talking Point Live. We're just getting ready to shoot our show, but we thought we'd put out a little bit of a promotion so you know when this is going to be rebroadcast.
Right. You can find us at 9:30,
12:30,
4:30.
Sorry, did I step on you? I'm always stepping on
You are.
Tune in and watch me step on Jen Moore. On Talking
Or
Point Live.
attempt to, anyway.
And welcome back to Carl Brooks Field, where Bailey Gaffin up to the plate swings at strike 1. And like every home game in the bottom of the 4th inning, the Trailblazers do their 4th inning ritual where they have a little dance that goes on inside of the dugout. And even some of the alumni got into it. They went up to the fence and were joining the team. It's just one of those traditions that has just not died. It's always good to have some sort of tradition, and that one's going to be low for ball 2. The tradition, I wouldn't say it's a tradition. It was just something we did back in my high school days. We used to just get steak plates before soccer games. That was our tradition. You know, it was a good source of protein. It always got us amped up. That one going to be low for ball 3. It was just like one of those things we did. It was just like, oh, let's go get steak plates, and then, you know, we won't be too full, we won't be too empty, we won't be sluggish. It was just one of those things where we always did every time we had a game. So I'm hoping they still do it over there. And that one's going to be ball 4, and Gaffin takes her base 4 straight balls. So nice to see that those traditions are still alive here at Dixie State. And that is going to bring up Corey Gahn. And Gahn in her first at-bat grounded out. And looks like we have a pinch runner, going to be Kirsten Quigley over at first, running for Bailey Gaffin.
Number 7, Kirsten Quigley.
And Quigley just has 2 stolen bases in 2 attempts so far. Has appeared in 6 games, but just has 3 at-bats. Does have an RBI.
At the plate, the first baseman, number 17, Corey Gahn.
Gahn coming into this game hitting .298 as she looks at ball 1. Has 1 home run and 12 RBIs. Tied for 4th on the team. And the pitch. And that one's going to get away from Adams, and Quigley's going to run over to second to get into scoring position. Pamplin up to 55 pitches so far in 3 innings and working on the 4th. As that was a good jump you see there from Quigley. Always getting that 3-step jump no matter what happens on the pitch. And even if it gets like 3 or 4 steps away from the catcher, you already have a pretty good lead on the throwout. And Gahn is going to take her base. And now we have runners on first and second. And that's going to bring up the power hitter, the catcher Jessica Gonzalez, who second on the team in home runs. You'd think she'd be first, but the year that Janessa Bassett is having, Gonzalez has 4 home runs with 16 RBIs, hitting .390 on the year. Does have 3 walks to go along with it and 2 doubles. Gonzalez, one of the leaders on the team. Split time playing catcher last season, but now the full-time starter.
At the plate, the catcher,
And she has
number
earned
12, Jess Gonzalez.
And Gonzalez looking for some fireworks here. She's always pumped up. As that one's going to be in there for a strike. And the pitch. And this one's going to get shot into right field, going all the way to the wall, but right fielder able to make that play. 1 run will score. Gone will stay over at third. And Jago gets a double RBI to extend the lead to 3-0. And Arzaga over there in right field bobbled it just a little bit, but able to prevent 2 runs from scoring. And coming around to score will be Kirsten Quigley. As Quigley, no problem going into there, and Gone thought about it, but Simpkins told her to stay put at third. And now we have runners on second and third, and that's going to bring up Riley Titica. And Titica on the, today, 0-for-0 with a walk and hitting .354 on the year. And this one's going to get tipped and hits the catcher for an 0-2 count. And the pitch from Pamplin. And that is a swing and a miss, strike 3 for Pamplin. And Titica goes down swinging. And that's going to bring up Kenzie Sawyer. And Sawyer in her first at bat flew out into a double play. And that one's going to be low and outside for ball 1. And the wind-up pitch. And off-speed pitch gets Sawyer swinging, and that pitch has worked all day long for Pamplin. You come speed, 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 and then you throw one of those offset pitches. And it just gets them every time, and it's worked time and time again. And that one's going to be outside for ball 2. But if Pamplin isn't careful, one of our Trailblazers might connect with that, and that one might be gone, because when it does come in, it does look like it is coming in like a lollipop, and it just looks so sweet to hit, but everyone's expecting a fastball, so it gets them. Wind up and the pitch, and foul tip into the backstop for a 2-2 count. That one's going to miss the outside corner. Looked like it could have been in there for a strike, but thought it was 2 outside. Another foul tip. In case you were wondering about how the men's team went, how the men's basketball team, they're in the Pac West tournament right now. They did win over Concordia Irvine last night, 68-59, and tonight they play at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time against Cal Baptist for the Pac West Championship. So I don't know if we have Carrick Segmiller out there. I don't know if he's going to bring that game here on Radio Dixie 91.3, but you can always follow live on the Dixie State Athletics page under men's basketball, or they look to punch their ticket into regional tournament play. And that one's going to get hit up the middle, and that's going to be Bartoff bringing in Gonzalez and bringing in Gahn to extend the lead to 5-0. As that one was just out of the reach of Taylor Haynes over at short. And a 1-out RBI, or 2 RBI single. And for Bartoff on the year, that was her 10th and 11th RBI. And it looks like we do have a pinch hitter.
Pinch hitting for the Trailblazers.
So Carrick does have the call on the game. It is going to be on ESPN 97.7. And that will be at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So make sure to tune in and listen. The windup and the pitch. And that one's going to be inside for ball one. Just one away. Trailblazers on top, 5-0 so far. Getting 2 runs from a 2 RBI single from Caitlin DeLang, hit right up the middle. Off-speed pitch in there for strike one. And I don't think Pamplin's missed an off-speed pitch today. I think all of them have either swung and a miss, or it has fallen in for a strike. So her off-speed pitch is on the money here today, but still find herself down 5-0. And this one's going to get chopped over to short, and another double play. Great awareness from Taylor Haynes to get her second double play of the game, and nothing you can do about that. It didn't look like it was going to get hit right to her, and able to turn the double play to retire the side. So 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. To the top of the 5th we go. We'll be right back here on Radio Dixie 91.3 and CEC TV.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
And welcome back to Carl Brooks Field, where the Trailblazers widen the lead by 3 runs in that last inning, which they now hold a 5-0 lead on top of the Argonauts of Northern Dane Namur. Guaranteed James Guerin on the call, and it is beautiful weather out here. Not too hot, not too cold, but a little bit of clouds out here, but don't look like it's going to be raining anytime soon. Let me knock on some wood right now. We do not want any rain here. And it is a big crowd, as it is alumni weekend.
Shortstop, number 7, Kirsten Quigley.
And Cambry Hazel still on the mound.
Leading off, Aurora Adams.
And leading off for the Argonauts, going to be number 24, Aurora Adams, the catcher. Adams 0 for 1 so far with a fly out. And Hazel's pitch. And this one's going to get popped up in the infield and called off by Kirsten Quigley, who's in for Bailey Gaffin. And her long reach that she has, she was able to just get there in time. That one had a lot of backspin on it. And she was able to stretch out and make the play to get out number 1, as we see right there. And Tivoli Cisco, the left fielder, up to the plate now. 0 for 1 so far with a ground out. And that one's going to get tipped and into the hands of Gonzalez for strike 1. Wind is picking up here, but it is blowing right to left. Hazel gets the windup and the pitch, and that one tipped off of her bat. So strike 2. Hazel gets the sign and the pitch. And this one's going to get fouled over into the intramural softball field. And not going away just yet. The sign and the pitch. And another foul tip back behind into the concession stand. And for Hazel, she's up to 53 pitches now. No walks or no hits given up just yet, with 7 strikeouts. And that off-speed pitch didn't get her swinging. And the pitch from Hazel. And this one's going to get blooped up. This one does have a chance, and getting there is Corey Gahn, going to her knees and making the play to get out number 2. And that is going to bring up
the second baseman, number 3.
Second baseman Haley Stahl. Stahl flew out in her first at bat, and coming into the game just hitting a .189 with 3 RBIs. Here's the windup and the pitch, and this one's going to get shot right towards me, and thank goodness that the net was there. It doesn't matter where I'm sitting at. Every time I come to a softball game, there's always, a ball or two coming my way, no matter where I'm at. A couple seasons ago, when I used to film for CEC, I used to be over at third base sign because no one else wanted to be over there. I used to just get ripped at. And that one's going to be foul tipped into the backstop again. 4-0-2 count. Now I'm behind the net, so now I'm safe. But when I was on camera, there was no net in front of me. So I had to be on my toes at all times. Time called. Stahl's ready. And Hazel with the windup and the pitch. And this one's going to get hit right towards Gahn. Routine ground ball out. And that is going to retire the side. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on base. To the bottom of the 5th inning we go. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Radio Dixie 91.3 and CEC TV.
Fast-paced family life in need of a slowdown?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Did you know all those green shapes on maps are parks and forests? It's true. Visit discovertheforest.org and plan to visit a park or forest near you, instead of just wondering what it would have been like.
While the word forest might make you think of distant lands from far, far away, please note parks and forests are closer than you think, which means things like beautiful scenery, fresh air, and family time are also closer than you think.
There is a place where the sun doesn't hide in the winter, where the greens stay green and the crimson canyons still glow. There is a place where dimples determine destiny, and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where we drive for show, putt for dough, and settle the score with another round. There is a place.
Welcome back to Carl Brooks Field. Whoever's on the aux inside of the booth, bad to the bone. You can never go wrong with that one. Bottom of the 5th inning, Trailblazers on top 5-0, and Cheetah Bassett leading off the inning. And that off-speed pitch from Pamplin once again gets in there for a strike. And that has been her money pitch today. And this one's going to get hit over to first. Not a problem for Elizabeth Santoyo. And once again, Cheetah into another out, and that's 0 for 2 so far with a walk. And Taylor Gottfried is the pinch hitter for Brenna Hink. And Gottfried coming into this season, and that bunt attempt didn't go. Gottfried second on the team in batting average, hitting .438, but only starting 5 out of the 14 games. Has 4 RBIs in 16 at-bats. And the pitch, and Gottfried looks at that one, 1-1 the count. Gottfried usually plays in right field because of the cannon she has on her arm. I see her warming up sometimes, just lasering it from center field all the way to the first base side, not even one hopping it. And that bunting attempt doesn't go as it hits her on the way, and that one is going to be an out. And that is going to bring up number 7, Kirsten Quigley, who pinch ran for Bailey Gaffin, now over at short and now up to bat. And Quigley hitting .333 on the season so far. And that one's going to miss the corner. Ball 1. 2 quick outs by Bassett and then Gottfried. This one's going to be a swing and a miss, and that one was low and away, but she wanted it, and quickly down in the count, 0-2. Pamplin with the pitch, and this one's going to get chopped up, and it looks like it was in play, but looks like it hit the inside of the batter's box, so going to be counted as a foul. And Quigley staying alive in this at-bat. Gets the sign from Simpkins. And the pitch. Off-speed pitch, but watch out, cameraman. That is the spot that they all like to hit towards, and luckily that one about 10 feet offside. And the pitch, and that one's going to be in the dirt. 2-2 the count. So even though Gottfried bunted with just 1 strike, because she had made contact with the ball outside of the batter's box, that is considered an out. And that one's going to miss the outside corner, and we're at a full count. wind up in the pitch, and another foul tip into the backstop, and Quigley not going down easy. Off-speed pitch, but Quigley able to stay with it, not being fooled on that one. And Pamplin is just loving that pitch so far. As Pamplin's pitch count rises up to 80, has 5 walks. And this one's going to get hit softly over to third, and that is in time for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for the Argonauts. No runs on no hits, no errors, and none left on base. To the top of the 6th inning we go. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Radio Dixie 91.3 and CEC TV.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
And welcome back to Carl Brooks Field, where the Trailblazers still holding on to that 5-0 lead over the Argonauts of Notre Dame Namur. And this could be the very last time that these two teams meet up, as Dixie State move into the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference next season, as well as all the other sports following the steps of football, which football went to the RMAC this season, or last season. And it still is good weather, but the wind has picked up. And stay tuned for our doubleheader. Second game to be 30 minutes after the conclusion of game 1. And Hazel's first pitch inside for ball 1. Abriana Arzaga swings and misses for strike 2. And Hazel doesn't have like the super speed pitches to get, you know, the opposing batters. I think it's just more of a placement. And she just seems to pitch exactly the opposite of what they're expecting. And it's been very deadly for her all year long. And the pitch. And this one's going to get hit right towards Quigley at short. Just had to take one step to the right. And that is one away here in the top of the 6th inning. As you never be upset at a hard hit ball right at a field player. I mean, that's just what you're taught. You're taught to make contact, and if it goes straight to the other team, then there's nothing you can do about it. And that's exactly what happened there to Arzaga. And up to the plate now is number 2, Taylor Haynes. And bunting attempt fouled into the backstop. Quickly down 0-2. The pitch from Hazel, and foul tip into the crowd. Hazel up to 66 pitches. Haynes 0 for 1 so far, the strikeout in her first at bat. And looked good for just a second. Umpire didn't like it, and I was going to sneak in there for a ball one. Wind up in the pitch, and this one's going to get chopped over to third base side in front of that one. Possibly an off-speed pitch from Hazel. Last couple of pitches, Haynes has been in front of it. Hazel with the pitch. Instead goes with a heater right down the middle and gets Haynes looking. And that is strikeout number 8 for Hazel. And 2 away here. And that will bring up the third baseman, Lauren Zabat. Zabat also striked out, excuse me, struck out looking in her first at bat. And swings at that one for ball one. And the pitch. And in there for strike 2. And Hazel wasting no time here, trying to get her offense back behind the plate to extend the lead for her even more. And that one high and outside for ball one. And gets her swinging high and inside, or outside for that matter, for strikeout number 9 for Cambry Hazel. And that is another 1-2-3 inning for her. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on base. To the bottom of the 6th inning we go. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right here. We'll be right back here on Radio Dixie 91.3 and CEC TV.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
We're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
And welcome back to Carl Brooks Field, where we are in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the Trailblazers on top 5-0. Corey gone to lead things off here. And she looks at strike 1. Pamplin's still in the game. That off-speed pitch gets roped and nearly takes off the head of Coach Simpkins. And man, what reflexes, as she just almost took the skin off of his head. That's all it takes is for one of those off-speed pitches to just get bombed. And that one outside to even the count at 2-2. Or 1-2, excuse me. In the pitch and in the dirt. So now even the count, 2-2. gone so far 1 for 1 with a walk. 0 for 1 with a walk, excuse me. And she as it looked like that one, it was a foul tip call, and it looked like it could have hit the dirt maybe, but it was a foul tip. The catcher caught it, but tried to fool the other team, it seemed like. And the first base umpire did call her safe, but the home plate umpire said it was a foul tip for out number 1. And this one going to get hit right towards Zabat, and Zabat throws out Gonzalez. And hit hard and nicely fielded by Zabat to retire out number 2. And with that, Riley Titica 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far. And has a stolen base with her walk. That one low, but swung at for strike 1. Wind up in the pitch and low. 1-1. And the off-speed pitch gets Titica swinging again. And that has been fooling all of the Trailblazers all game long. And the speed pitch doesn't get in there, but outside for ball 2. Pamplin gets the sign and the pitch. Another off-speed pitch, but able to maintain contact. And fouled off into the Argonauts dugout. And the pitch, and looks like she's going to tip this one. And for Pamplin, up to 95 pitches now. But looks like she is going to stay in for the rest of this game. That pitch low to make the count 3-2. And the pitch, another off-speed pitch. And Pamplin really wants to use that pitch to get another strikeout. But Titica staying on top of things and not allowing that to happen. And the pitch, and that one's going to be high. Zabat had it in her glove, and this one is not going to be in time. And that is going to be an error on Zabat. That one was hit right at her. But it looks like she just closed the glove too soon before she could even get it in her glove and make the play.
The right fielder, 0-0, Kenzie.
And that will bring up the right fielder, Kenzie Sawyer. Sawyer flew out, and Titica goes to second again. And she gets yet another stolen, her second stolen base of the game. That pitch was in there for a ball. And I'm going to miss the outside corner. 2-0 the count. The pitch, and this one's going to get hit towards the shortstop, and it's going to be Haynes not grabbing a hold of this one, and going to be another error. The third one on the Argonauts today. And Titico wanted to come home, but Simpkins told her no, and she stays over at third. Now we got runners on the corners and an infield discussion going on between the Argonauts. Stop the momentum from the Trailblazers, and that is going to bring up Danny Bartov, who did have an RBI single earlier in the game. Number 4 team in the nation in Dixie State, trying to keep their streak alive against Pac West opponent Notre Dame Namur. And the Pac West so far, just 2 or 3 games into the season, except for Biola. Biola is 6-0 in conference play, 17-3 overall. And Dixie State 2-0 in conference play, 15-0 or 16-0 overall. And Cal Baptist in third, followed by Dominican, and then Notre Dame Namur. Notre Dame 2-2 in conference, so 1-10 outside of the conference play. Tough schedule for them here early on. They split the series between Dominican last week, losing 12-1 and then winning 8-3. The wind really starting to pick up here. And bunting, showing bunt, is Bartov. Oh, going to be a strike, 0-1 the count. Showing bunt again, and now we got a little bit of a pickle going on, and the strategy move by Simpkins pays off, allowing Titico to come home from third. And a little bit of a bobble from Haynes to try and pick off Sawyer between first and second. It doesn't work, so Titico does score from third to extend the lead to 6-0. And the pitch, and this one's going to get hit right towards the second baseman, and it is yet another error as Haley Stahl couldn't quite get a glove on that one. And Sawyer goes over to second, and Bartov gets on by error. That is the 4th error by the Argonauts this game. Runners on first and second, 2 away, and Caitlin DeLange up to the plate.
The second baseman, Caitlin DeLange.
And that one's going to be fouled inside of the batter's box, 0-1. And that one's going to fall in there for a strike, 1-1. Not sure where this wind came from, but it is really starting to pick up now. And this one's going to get hit into the center field gap, and Sawyer rounding third, coming home. DeLange rounding second, and she's going to stay at second, and that's going to bring home Bartov. And 2 more RBIs for Caitlin DeLange. And that extends the lead to 8-0, and that is the mercy rule. And DeLange, wouldn't say it's a walk-off hit, but it is a 2 RBI double to end the game via mercy rule. And the Trailblazers come victorious here in game number 1 by a score of 8-0.
Cambry Hazel just threw a 6-inning perfect game.
And you hear it right there. Cambry Hazel pitched a perfect game. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to do the commentators jinx, but Cambry Hazel does pitch a perfect game in 6 innings, and she goes to 8-0 on the year. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be back for a little bit of the post game of Game 1, but we do have Game 2 coming up here in about 30 minutes, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here in about 30 seconds to a minute for the post game show for game number 1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Radio Dixie 91.3 and CEC TV.